You know what time it is. It's weather for Weather Geeks time on Thursday. It's the final full day of winter. Spring officially arrives tomorrow evening at 6:45 p.m. It's a tranquil final day of winter around here. All thanks to high pressure, which is centered right where this circle is right here over Lake Ontario. Big, strong area of high pressure. This thing is up around 1028 millibars, and it's providing fair skies for us this afternoon. We do have some moisture off to the south. This first wave of moisture is a miss for us. This is all tracking through West Virginia, the Carolinas, and heading east. We have to wait for the atmosphere to kind of reload a little bit as a disorganized area of low pressure ejects out of Texas and comes north and east. That's what's going to spread moisture our way late tonight and heading into tomorrow morning. We'll talk about the timing and details on that in just a second, but just focusing on the short term, or the present time, I should say, temperature-wise this afternoon. Locally, we're in the lower 40s, pretty much where we were about this time yesterday. Things are very similar to 24 hours ago. We're even pushing 50 down towards I-70 and down along the Ohio River this afternoon. It's a cool and damp day in the southeast, except when you head down to the Gulf Coast, where it's nice and warm. Spring in full effect down near the Gulf Coast. Across the country, not too many barn burners as far as temperatures out there today. Overall, pretty typical March map. All right, let's talk about this precipitation that's heading our way late tonight and heading into tomorrow morning. I'm going to bring up, first of all, the NAM, North American model, NAM, the simulated radar product. And we're going to fast forward here to the middle of the night tonight. Here's 4 o'clock, I should say, in the morning, with some light rain approaching and getting up to maybe about Route 30 here by 4 a.m. Initially, as this comes in, it likely will be rain just about everywhere because the atmosphere will be a little too warm for snow at first. Now, as we head towards daybreak tomorrow morning, here's 6 a.m. Still just a little bit of light rain, especially in the southern part of our viewing area. Some snow trying to get going once you get into the higher terrain east of I-79 just before daybreak tomorrow morning. Let's go to 8 a.m., a half an hour after sunrise. This is when, for most of us, it'll be raining. Now, I can't rule out as early as 8 o'clock some wet snowflakes trying to mix in, especially over towards I-79, but for most of us, this will be a light rain or drizzle to start the day. Kind of a miserable start to our Friday. Nothing all that heavy, just kind of a nuisance. By 10 in the morning, this is when the atmospheric processes will be allowing things to cool off. We call this atmospheric cooling, or evaporational cooling, I should say. I'm hopped up on cold medicines. Evaporational cooling, where the atmosphere from the top down is cooling off. Precipitation's falling into dry air, evaporating at first. That causes a cooling effect in the air, and eventually, as the precipitation starts reaching the ground and the entire atmosphere starts cooling, we start to see some wet snowflakes trying to mix in. Again, this is all by about mid-morning tomorrow. By noontime, everything's pushing east, so, we're left with maybe a touch of drizzle at lunchtime tomorrow. That should be about it. Now, yesterday we started talking about how there can be a coating to, maybe an inch in some spots worth of snow. I think today we're definitely leaning more towards the coating out of this. If anybody's going to get an inch of snow out of this, it would probably be over towards I-79 and even east of there, with the snow perhaps mixing in a little sooner and coming down a little heavier over there. For the rest of us, at worst, this is a candy coating on non-paved surfaces. The roads will just be wet tomorrow. You won't have any issues in terms of snow accumulation on the roads. Now, notice out to the east, this will be a legitimate snow event for central PA, heading over into the Poconos in northeast PA. Some places are going to get several inches out of this. Here's the National Weather Service forecast for snow out of this during Friday. Notice central PA over towards Altoona State College. Somebody's going to get 4, 5 inches, maybe 6 out of this. And then you head over into east central PA, and amounts will be similar. So I-80, a mess tomorrow. The PA Turnpike and over towards I-70, a real mess as well. But this far to the west, just don't think this is going to be a real big deal for us tomorrow. In fact, we may see a little sun before the day is through. So that's the story for tomorrow. Our next weather maker, and it isn't much of one, tracks our way Saturday. This is Saturday afternoon. I shouldn't say weak cool front. It's a decent cool front, but it's moisture starved. So by Saturday afternoon, our front's like this, and the best chance to get a shower is going to be east of our viewing area, over towards the Finger Lakes and northern tier of PA. Might be a rain shower, but I'll tell you, this is probably a 20% chance of a late day rain shower on Saturday. Most of the day, actually, should be pretty nice. We'll see some sun. It'll get into the 50s, lower 50s perhaps on Saturday. A little bit of a gusty breeze though. Isobars here on Saturday packed somewhat close together, so kind of a gusty breeze. But hey, Saturday's a nice day overall. I think Sunday is definitely the cooler half of the weekend in the wake of that front. Here's Sunday's map, all clear in terms of precipitation, but a fresh batch of Arctic air with high pressure up here pushing south. So Sunday's a day where we'll probably just stay in the 30s all day. A cool day on Sunday. In fact, we're going to stay cool into early next week. Let's skip ahead then to the middle of next week. Here's the latest GFS model, middle of next week. This will be Tuesday morning, the 24th. Maybe just a touch of precip down here, but I'm not sure if that's legitimate or not. High pressure over the northeast should keep us high and dry for the first couple of days of next week. As we head towards Wednesday, though, looks like we're going to see a nice warm-up. Here's let's skip ahead to Wednesday midday. While there could be a shower here and there on Wednesday, strong low spinning up here around the western Great Lakes, and this means a gusty southwest wind develops, and that's going to be a pretty mild day Saturday. We'll talk about temperatures in just a second, but I shouldn't say Saturday, Wednesday. We're talking about Wednesday now. Middle of next week. Again, cold medicines. Middle of next week looking mild. Wednesday. We'll talk about those temperatures in just a second, but notice, yes, there can be some rain showers around on Wednesday and into parts of Wednesday evening. Now let's talk about temperatures in the longer range here. Notice the big cool down coming. Here's Sunday. After reaching the 50s Saturday, Sunday's high only in mid-30s. We do rebound back into the 40s early next week. Still a little below average, but closer to average Monday and Tuesday. And then here's Wednesday, that southwest wind, and despite the chance for a couple of rain showers, yeah, there could be 60 to 62 temperature spread during Wednesday afternoon. And beyond that, of course, the details get a little hazy in the longer range, but nothing real remarkable showing up in the models in the longer range. Probably averaging cooler than we should be at the end of March and early April. Not super cold, though. Keep in mind we should be around 50 at the end of March and early April, but I have a hard time reaching those numbers for a lot of the time during that last few days of March and first couple of days of April. And speaking of April, here's the latest climate forecast system forecast for the entire month of April. We're looking at temperatures here, temperature anomalies, difference from average, and it's still painting kind of a cool picture for the Great Lakes, the Northeast, warmer than average in the West, like it has been, it seems, forever. And around here right now, if you were to believe the latest climate forecast system model, it would probably be near or perhaps a little below average for the month of April as a whole. Some warm days, some cool days, averaging out maybe as a pretty typical April or maybe a little cooler than a typical April here in Youngstown. All right, that's the Thursday weather for Weather Geeks. I'll see you right back here at the same time on Friday. In the meantime, you can check out my forecast as always on TV tonight on 21 News at both 6 and 11. I'll see you then.